Merrix here with another video for you today. I don't know if this one will be there first or second, but let's go ahead and start. This one is a game that I have played many times. I played for PS3 once, Xbox, and PS3 again, which I just now completed it again. If I've done a review of this already, I apologize, but this one's going to be a little bit more lengthier than a 2-minute review. But this game is going to be, review is going to be of, I'm losing my thought here. I'm waiting to play this game I just unboxed. Lost Planet 2. You don't see many people talking about Lost Planet 2. I've seen the reviews. I've seen the scores. I haven't seen any reviews on it. Very low. It was surprisingly low on some of the reviews. IGN gave it a 6 out of 10. I think it deserves more than that. Everything else was basically, right down the middle. I don't agree. Of course, IGN, they go with basically whoever pays them the most, they tell them whatever. Please, IGN, don't report me. It's just my opinion. I'm not, trying to bash them. They're a good company. Some of the reviews they've done, I agree with. But let's get back to Lost Planet 2. You're not playing as one. You're not playing as two. You're playing as 3 different people, sort of. I'll explain that. You start off as playing a snow pirate, which is like a 2-level... No, not 2-level. Like a 4 or 5... something. 4 or 5 chapter deal. Where you play as like a mercenary, sort of. He has like this helmet on with the mask over his face, and he's wearing like a bulky looking armor. Not really armor. There's no shields. But, yeah, you're playing as him, and you're basically fighting the Acrid. And then, some kind of natives-looking guys. I don't remember. Even though you can play as those characters, I choose not to. I don't like the looks of them. Basically, they're like tattooed out, or... some of their character parts are okay, but then you play as the ex-Nevik, which they're basically in Nevik uniform the entire time. Starting level, that's episode 2. You basically go through the level, the first part of the level, getting away from spotlights, killing enemies without getting spotted. I've done that maybe 2 or 3 times. I've been through the level twice this time around. Haven't done it. They basically go into this facility to capture a big freaking gun. It is a huge gun, and it helps at the end of the game. I'm just summarizing these, as you can tell. I'm not saying anything about the bosses yet. I will get to them. Next, you play as, I believe, that one set of people I don't like. No, you go back as the, you go back as the Rounders. That's what they're called. I call them Snow Pirates, but technically the Snow Pirates are the other one, so you're playing as the Rounders. You're in a different costume this time around. You're, I think, in Waysiders, which is a guy with a cap over his head, not like a baseball cap, but a cap that's, all-sided, all around, with like this patch over his eye and a face mask, and he has like a jacket on him that's dangling on his shoulders, which I guess the only way it's holding him over is like a strap or something. And you go through all these levels, and you capture a train. How does it start off? Yeah, you capture a train, and you have to evacuate the train. Then you steal another train. Then you leave that train, and it gets exploded, and you steal another one. I think that's how it goes. I don't know. That's where you get a different can. I think, yeah. I don't know. I'm confused about it myself. I just recently played it. Each level twice. I don't understand why I'm not remembering. Alright. I think chapter 5, or 4 or 5 is the one I don't like. But it's a good level. You captured this cannon-looking thing. It's not the cannon I'm talking about from before. It's another, like an energy-based cannon. The other one I was talking about was a bullet-based cannon. They go and steal this mobile cannon that's on train tracks, of course, 2 train tracks. And they're just stealing it, you know, to have fun. They're trying to just steal it. And once you steal it, you know, you have to defend it. Then you have to defend it again against another transport just like it that has their own cannon to it. So you have to blow it up, get on their side. Once you take it over, it self-destructs. Jump back over. But I suggest staying there for at least the last 20 seconds, because that's when these question mark cubes come around, and you have to collect as many as possible. I'll explain that one also a little bit later. But then, well, before that, you have to face a boss. You know, I'm not touching that right now. Not going to talk about bosses. Not right now, anyway. Hold on. Then the last 2 levels you play as the ex-Nevik characters, to where you fight the final boss, and you defeat him. Technically, you don't. Someone does. And then the game's over. Let's get into the extra stuff now. I wasn't doing this in the middle. There's a slot machine. I don't know what to call it. A slot machine something. That takes 2,000 coins, or $2,000, I'll just say dollars, at once to let you unlock something. There's a lot of stuff to unlock. There is abilities, weapons, like the little tag things for your name, character parts, and the other one was emotes. Emotes, whatever they're called. E-M-O-T-E-S. To where, like, celebration, dancing, all that crap. You're mostly going to get the stuff somewhat on top of your head. You know, or the words on top of your head, like, mine was Techromancer. You know, deal with tech and all that stuff, whatever. But, I was focused on one thing, and this was getting a gun called the Gun Sword. Why was I worried about the gun sword? Well, it's a machine gun. You start off every mission with the machine gun. The gun sword is a kind of shooting, but it's powerful. And I am just good enough to deal with headshots. I deal with headshots most of the time. I do not aim for their stomach in this game. I am accurate enough to aim directly for their head every single time. And it takes no more than 2 or 3 shots. If you're lucky enough, you can hit them with 1. You have to hit them directly up here. If you hit them, I usually would hit them in the torso or something, then bam, right in the head. But that's not the appealing part of this gun. As you notice, the second part, sword. You actually, your melee attack, instead of like boom, like hitting him with your attack, he flips the sword, he flips the gun, a blade comes out, and you hit him once, twice, attach back. Now for the special, which is called SP, you get a 3rd hit, which only takes 2. If you're playing on easy mode, which, don't hate me for it, I did, that sword can take out a VS with 2 hits. It takes forever to shoot one of those down. But this gun sword takes it down with 2 hits. And I'm guessing normal and hard, maybe 4 to 5 hits. Still, that's pretty good. Alright. That's the only weapon I'm going to talk about. There's a ton of weapons. I think each one has about 4 to 5 each. Meaning rocket launchers, shotguns, machine guns. There's a ton of grenades. There's normal disc, which I like the disc shuriken, which there's no explosion to it. You throw it and you have to hit somebody with it, which is cool. There's dummy grenades, which 3 is the best. You throw it out. They're supposed to be just decoys for people to shoot at. But the 3rd one, it actually shoots bullets at them. So, fun, right? Alright, let's get to the bosses. Oh my god. The bosses get bigger and bigger each episode. They're bigger. First level, you face an enemy. you have to take out his legs or shoot him on the top of his head that has like this core, which is what they call it. I constantly get the core fighter. But you shoot at his legs and blow him up, sort of. They basically cut off after you shoot them enough. I suggest getting a plasma cannon because it has no ammo limit. It deals with your energy. Your energy-based stuff, which keeps you alive and all that stuff. Thermal energy. There we go. Thermal energy. It deals with thermal energy. It takes about maybe 100. So if you're at 9,999, you're not going to lose all your ammo unless you just sit there, boom, boom, but it's impossible. Especially on normal. I think in harder difficulties, I don't think it's any different. But I suggest using plasma cannon on that and then switching to the gun sword as soon as it's low enough. Basically, the enemy, you have to take out his legs, but then he'll grow more. Then you have to take those out. And you need to defeat him that way. I don't know if there's any other way. I think if he opens his mouth, you can throw a grenade in there or something and just hurt him that way. The first time around, it was difficult. It took a while. I know how to defeat these enemies. I've beaten them before. But I would say, next to Mass Effect 3 and Gears of War, this is one of my third favorite third-person shooter, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Okay, back to the enemies again. Yeah, you basically just take out his legs, and then he falls over and dies. Then you see his body melt away and leaving bone, and then these question mark boxes come out, and you need to collect them. If you watch this video and you think you're wanting to play this game, collect those boxes. You know what I'm talking about. If you melee kill an enemy, you automatically get one. If you shoot an enemy in the head 1 out of 5 times, you'll get one. Collect them all. There's an unlimited amount. There's a reason for them. For each one you get a certain amount of money. Like I said before, you can do the roulette thing. So, basically, the next boss, Episode 2, you are getting ready to take this cannon, and this boss appears out of nowhere. His weaknesses are his head and his right claw. Right claw. You know, it might be right here, but this is my right. He can do massive damage if you're not careful. He will go up into this tall building area and jump down, and usually he'll swing around to smack everybody. So, make sure to have the plasma cannon. You need the plasma cannon and the gun sword. My opinion, it's way too early to get those two. I didn't get it till episode 4. They have it in chapters and episodes. I think it should have been the other way around, but whatever. Basically, aim for the head area until it evolves. It evolves. It's just like this tongue-looking thing coming out. Then it evolves and it has horns and it looks more like the enemy before its head was blown off, which happens. His head gets blown off, but he regrows everything back, and then he's the boss. Once his head comes back, focus on the arm, take the arm out, then go back to the head once he's disabled for a little while. Once you defeat him, there's an intercom person that comes up and says, "We can still breathe thermal energies on this guy." He revives himself, but he can be taken out less than a minute if you have these two guns that because you can carry these two things throughout each area up until a new chapter. Then you have to start off with the gun sword. Boss number 3. Which one was it? I just played the level. I just played it last night. And for the life of me, I cannot... Oh, yes. It is this big, huge character who actually comes after you in the first or second chapter. No, first chapter. He's like this big demon-looking thing with... Here's his mouth. His mouth is like real big, and inside is his weakness. And then he has thermal energy areas throughout him that you have to hit. With this boss, you get a big, huge freaking cannon. The cannon I'm talking about with bullets. You can get the bullets, or your 3 teammates can go get the bullets for you. I suggest doing it the first part until they, get them up themselves, and they'll do it. Then energize the bullets. You don't have to, but I suggest doing it because it does more damage. And you have to aim for his mouth or the places on his side, which I think there's 3 or 4 on each side. And he digs underground, comes back up, and that's when you need to hit him. And he can spit out the flying acrids that fly around, and they can hurt. They can hurt if they hit you. But any weapon, 1-2 shots kill them. The final part, they say 1 shot left. It comes up, 1 shot left. It's like an achievement kind of deal. It's like 1 shot left. It'd be literally right there. And you hit him in the mouth. If he opens his mouth, shoot him. If he ever's at an angle where his mouth is open and you can have a clean shot, shoot him. Don't shoot him anywhere else. That's his weakness. You hit him there, you kill him, level's over. Next part. Like I said, I'm a little scrambled on some of these. I don't remember them all. But I can hit most of the good ones. I remember 5. Okay, 4 is the one I'm talking about. 4 is the other cannon, which is the energy-based cannon. I believe this is like a mid-boss, which the final one was the taking over the other one. Here's the mid-boss. This one comes in right after you capture this one, and he is massive. He is huge. Like I said, every new boss gets bigger. This dude is huge. He literally towers over the cannon, and you have to take out his legs. He is not that hard of a boss because his face is constantly exposed. You can shoot him in the face. And the joints on his legs. Those are his weak points, and you have to hit him with that thermal energy cannon. That's what it's called. Crap. Alright. The next boss. By the way, all these bosses are called Cat Gs. Category G. Because apparently they're on categories, and G is the final. Alright. The next boss takes place after you take over the Nevik space station that has a super laser on it. Star Wars. Sorry. It's not that destructive. The Star Wars cannon destroyed a planet with a little freaking beam that's no bigger than my room. Somehow destroyed a planet. This one's just as big, but it can barely even destroy a block. But the boss before that is a tentacle, not a tentacle, like a snake. There's 2 heads and a tail. Sounds like the Hydra. Anyway, you fight this enemy by shooting each of its little spots, just like the enemy from episode 2. And you shoot these spots until one of them dies. There's no health bar for this one, I don't think. If there is, there's no way to tell because there's a couple. Once you destroy that, you go to the final boss. The final boss is by far the easiest. Basically, open fire. Getting up to that boss is difficult. Getting to the boss is easy. You have to shoot the boss. There's 3 different areas, like these, like magma bubble thermal energy stuff, and you have to shoot this boss until its head gets like molten lava crust on it, and it falls down. You have to attach the GPS systems that you get from these VSs. And what happens is the laser shoots at it, but it doesn't kill it. Like I said, the laser's not enough. So they say, shoot it again, shoot it again. And like 2 minutes later, they're like, we're going to ram the station into it. You know how they say that the world could be destroyed with a 2-mile asteroid? The station is over 4 or 5 miles, and it didn't do crap to the planet, so someone's lying here. So the station gets rammed into the enemy. The enemy is defeated, and the character you're playing as is still alive. He is in that crater area, but because of the winds, it throws him out. Okay. I was okay with it. Okay. I think I've covered everything except for the character parts. I should have covered that a little bit earlier. The character parts are things that you can do to customize your character for multiplayer. And there's also free DLCs of Albert Wesker and Frank West. Albert Wesker being from Resident Evil 1 through 5. Yeah, he gets killed in 5, finally. And Frank West from Dead Rising. Kind of appropriate when you're dealing with them two. But where else can you use them? After you beat the campaign, you get the option when you go into the character list, press, what button am I using? Square, to set as your default for campaign. So now you don't have to play as these other skins, you get to play as this one, and if you pick Rounder or the female ones or the Snow Pirates, all that stuff, it levels those up instead of having to pick through different ones. So the maximum level is 70. So you get that up to level 70, you can pick a different character, change that skin. But the Albert Wesker and the Frank West one works for everybody. But you cannot play as a Rounder on a female character, obviously. But the female characters actually have different costumes that look like the other people. Obviously, I've been talking for 21 minutes about this game. It's obvious I like this game. It is enough to catch my attention many times. What am I going to give a score of this? The people that have played this game and may not have liked it might not like my review, might not like the fact that I'm about to give it a 5 out of 5. It deserves it in my opinion. It's my opinion only. No one has told me whether or not, this game is good or not. I played this many times before. I didn't like the first one as much, but I did like it. I love the second, and they announced a third. I will play the third. I think it comes out in 2013, so hopefully there's no freaking apocalypse, which people need to get over that. Look up the understanding of apocalypse. It doesn't mean what you think. Whatever. Not getting into that. So, this is Delta Merrix with Lost Planet 2. Getting a 5 out of 5. A perfect score. So